Is it too late to start a side hustle?
Is it? We'll find out.
Let's find out.
Pod Sound School presents Content Jefe, the podcast that helps online business owners make better content and more money. Let's Jefe up. Hello and welcome to the Content Jefe podcast, Better Content, More Money. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Steven.
And if this is the first time you tuning into our podcast, we are the Pod Sound School. We are content creators. We are online educators and content geeks.
Yes, all around content geeks. We are from the Pod Sound School, and the Pod Sound School is a company that specializes in online education for content creators, creative professionals, and entrepreneurs. I think that's good.
We're ready.
We're ready. This is going to be a really cool episode because I think that a lot of people think that it's either too late to start a side hustle, or that there may be too much education involved, or what really goes into it, or like, is it even possible to make money online? Like, that's got to be for a different type of person than me. So I'm excited.
It's accessible for all of us.
I'm excited to see what you've got in store for us.
Yes. So in this episode, we're going to talk about whether if it's too late to start a side hustle. And then the second part, we're going to talk about the 3 steps that you need to take to launch your side hustle right away. So you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do these things that we're going to tell you to do, and you just go for it. And so let's start with the first one. Is it too late to start a side hustle? Or is it for me even? Like, if you are thinking about starting one, is it something that is available for me? In my research, I found 2 articles, one on Forbes and the other one on CBS News, that said that nearly half of American workers have side hustles to make extra cash or to increase their income so they can maintain their lifestyle. And that is something that we're seeing more and more as inflation goes up. Yeah. Then we can't afford the same things that we used to just, a few months ago. Yep. So there are a lot of us trying to find for resources and things to do so we can bring some extra income. So that's just like we are in the side hustle culture. Yes, so
we are. That's where we're at currently.
Yeah. Another thing that I found is like, what are the reasons that people start their side hustles? And there are different reasons. And something interesting, the majority of people who are employed in the workforce with side hustles are Gen Zs.
Okay. Yep.
So it's Gen Zs and millennials. And it makes sense because, Gen Zs are tech savvy, and they're all over the internet and how they can make money online.
How they can make money. Yeah, it's easier for them because they were born with the phones in their hands.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so it's easier for them. It's kind of like second nature. Yep. They were also asked, like, why do you have a side hustle? Why do you do what you do? And the reasons are, the first one is that the extra income is easy to earn. So it's just easy. They have a computer, they have a phone, and it's just easy to have that side hustle and make some extra cash every month or every week. They enjoy doing it. So maybe they have their 9 to 5, and their side hustle is something that they feel passionate about, and still not completely supporting them or paying the bills, but they enjoy doing what they do. Also, the main income source is not enough to pay their monthly bills. So a lot of people are being forced to get a side hustle so they can pay the bills. And I read an article the other day too, like how stay-at-home moms are also starting their side hustles at home. Yes. To help their husbands or to bring that extra income to their household so they can buy things for their kids, so they can afford their next vacation. So
what's interesting about this too is you have like 2 sides of a way of looking at it. Some people might think it's a little bit of a bummer. It's like, man, our economy is kind of like failing us, or like, oh, these jobs that I went to school for that I got, have a ton of student debt for, they're not even paying the bills for me to like support my family of a couple kids or whatever it is, right? Which seems like a shame. But then the positive way of looking at it is that actually, when else in history has there been the opportunity to actually start side hustles like this? Like for a stay-at-home mom to be able to get crafty and to get scrappy and just start an online side hustle at home is really cool. And it provides all these opportunities to where I think what excites me most about all of it is that the side hustle can turn into something
big,
something really big.
Yeah. And if you are a stay-at-home mom, if you are there with your kids and you're thinking, man, I wish there was a way for me to make some money. I wish there was a way for me to help my spouse in some way while I'm here at home taking care of the kids. Yeah. And there are multiple ways. We had recorded an episode to talk about the different hustles that you can start from home.
Yeah, our top 3 choices.
Our top 3 choices. And have you thought about becoming a podcast editor and start editing podcasts from your living room?
Yeah, like, in your pajamas on a laptop.
In your pajamas on a laptop while the kids are taking a nap.
Yeah.
Or after you put them to bed at night.
Yeah, exactly. Or while they're watching their Coco Melon on repeat.
If you thought about becoming a podcast editor, we have an invitation for you.
We do. Actually, we put this together. I think of it as a reality check or a test or a challenge to see if you have what it takes to be a podcast editor. It's a free mini course. It's a short course. You actually use files that we provide and you walk through with me in a digital audio workstation to edit and export your own podcast episode and then share it with us for feedback afterwards. So if you can get through this mini course in a reasonable amount of time, then you'll know you have what it takes to be a podcast editor. Or maybe you'll realize, nope, this isn't for me. But it's a great starting place for that. And that's why we put it together for you. You can find that by going to podcastingsmart.com/free edit lab, the free podcast edit lab.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So there are different things that you can do. And, I get it. Like, cause I being home with kids and thinking like, man, like I wish there was a way for me to make some money from home.
And it seems so far away. And like, again, then you get back to like your education or your lack of education, or maybe there's so many scenarios, where you spend like all this time at a job that by the time you're done with the job, it's not really the only thing you have on your resume or as far that you feel specialized in is going and working another job just like that one. So it's weird to think like, oh, here I am again at an entry-level position, or here I am again unqualified to work any of these side hustles. And what's really great, and especially if you listen to our previous episode, is and I'm sure we're going to cover that a touch more, is that it's actually more accessible than you would think. And the training that you can go through, if you can find the right training, only has to take a few months to get really trained, or in the case of like a podcast editor, to get certified to actually do the thing professionally.
Yeah, there are so many ways that you can get the education and the skills and the certification for you to start making money. How cool is that?
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's also important as a woman that you, even if you are at home with your kids, that you make some extra money for you.
Yeah, and you
never know. It just maybe that side hustle becomes into, because we've seen it many times.
Yes, becomes the real
women
thing.
Retiring their husbands.
Yeah,
like that's pretty cool.
The side hustle then becomes a family business, or it's like, this is working out so well for me. Do you want to quit your job too? And let's double down on this.
Yeah, and this goes for you if you're a stay-at-home dad. We don't want to discriminate against the dads.
But it's true. And what's really great about it is, you think about, it makes me think of books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you've read something like that. And just the idea that we're all we have so much more information available to us that we're privy to. And even the pandemic kind of made us realize just like the reality of the way things could be. And real wealth isn't going to come from a job that you are specialized in traditionally. Depending on it depends on your definition of wealth, but to get really what you would call rich, that's going to have to be by creating assets, or by building something for yourself, or by owning your own assets, whether it's real estate or your own company, or your own services or products that you sell or offer to people. That's how you're actually going to build leverage and build momentum in the world and in the economy, and actually have a ton of riches come your way.
Yeah. And if you're thinking also about having a business, then this can be a way that you can start to test the waters and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's always where
can
my
tell
mind
you
goes.
the privileges that come with having your business, with working for yourself. It means that you can be there for your kids. It means that you can do the pickups and the drop ups.
I think they far outweigh the cons, especially if you do a pros and cons list with the traditional way. You know, there's so many cons you can find with a traditional working job, like going to the office or whatever it is, that are just kind of permanent. Like there's not much you can do about it. They're just going to stay that way. Whereas the cons that you have from working from home or working remotely, those you can change, you know, not necessarily, and not beyond just changing your perspective. You could actually, like, a lot of times people suffer with cabin fever, or they don't have enough of a community, or they don't, well, actually, you didn't have the option to have a community other than the employees that were appointed to be your coworkers. That's your community. But now you can actually choose to go join a weekly mid-afternoon like hiking club, or you can go pick up a sport that you've been wanting to, because you actually have the freedom and the extra time to do those things. So the pros are really cool. It's a really great time in the world to get into that. And what I love so much about side hustles is it's low risk. If it doesn't work out, or you don't find out that you like it, you still have your main gig.
Yeah, I love that. So with that, like, what are the steps for you that you should take to launch your side hustle? The first part, or the first stage, will be the planning and idea validation. And for that, you want to identify your skills and what you're interested in. What are your passions? If it's going to be something that you're going to start just because of, you know, the fun of it, or because of, you know, is your side hustle, is your business, then it should be something that at least that you like and enjoy. Don't get into something that is just going to be more stress, that is going to bring more, you know, just caca feelings in your life, like that is going to make you miserable.
Yeah.
So no. The first thing is to recognize if you can see yourself, if you are somebody who enjoys being away from people, being in your computer for long hours, then podcast editing, video editing, you're just in your zone. And maybe you're just light up your candle, like, or burn your sage, or
just being creative. A lot of times you can work with music on a lot of the
music on,
and you set up your space,
and then you're in the zone. Then video editing or podcast editing is the thing for you. So just have that in mind. And then as far as the skills, that's something that you can now you don't have to go to college to get the skills that you need to launch your side hustle. If you don't possess those skills, you can take online courses. You can find a mentor.
Yes.
You have access to so many resources online, and people who have walked the walk, who have years of experience in the online world, that can give you a hand and help you to reach where you want to go.
There are so many people who have built an enterprise for themselves from consuming free content on YouTube that taught them how to do what they're doing. And so, you know, you could DIY it that way too. That you don't need any money to get started with this. What you'll need is a cheap, inexpensive laptop computer. That could be like $800 right now, and you'd be fine. You'd be good to go.
Okay, let's pause the episode. Are you too, like 50% of Americans, looking for a side hustle to bring in some more cash, either to help pay your bills, or maybe to pay off your debt, or to finally take the kids on that vacation out of the country that you've been dreaming of? There is no better side hustle to start than to become a podcast editor. Did you know that with zero experience and only a couple months of training, that a brand new podcast editor can charge a minimum of $125 per episode? So that would be $500 a month for each client. And you can expect to spend 2 hours a week per client. So there's some realistic fun math for you. If you want $2,000 extra every month, then take on 4 clients and work an additional 8 hours a week. And the work itself is meaningful and fulfilling because you're helping people to build their brand, you're working with professionals, interesting people sharing their message and their stories with a real audience. And if this is something that sparks your interest, we've created PodSound School's free podcast edit lab. This is a hands-on learning mini course where you work to edit a professional podcast episode. By the end of the free mini course, you will export your own podcast episode and submit it to us for review. So find out if you have what it takes. Go to podcastingsmart.com/free edit lab. I'll also leave the link where you're consuming this episode. Okay, now back to Content Jefe.
Then the next thing to do would be, and this is part of the planning and idea validation, is to find a profitable niche. If the niche is profitable, if there's a lot of people doing this thing.
Yeah.
So if there's a lot of podcast editors, there's a lot of video editors. So when there's just a lot of things going on in that niche.
So here you're trying to identify the demand.
The demand, yeah.
Of
if you
what
have
the thing is that you're the service that you're going to offer, the product that you're going to create.
Yeah. So do you want to identify that? Because you don't want to spend time creating something or getting the skills in something that is not on high demand, because then it's going to take you some time to make money.
Yeah, relative high demand. Like, just something that's so niche that there really is only 10 customers in the world for it. It's good to niche down, as they say. You don't want to tackle just women in their 40s. You want to tackle like women in their 40s who've just had a baby who are struggling with this specific thing. That's good targeting, good niching down as far as who you serve or what you sell your products or your services to. But if you niche too far down, then you have too small of a marketplace.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. And then the next thing would be to validate your idea. And this way, what you need to do right here is to, before you start creating anything, before you put together your packages, before you do any kind of work, it would be a good idea for you to go and get a client and experiment and try things with that client. And then your clients, they will bring the ideas and will bring your side hustle to life, because they will give you that feedback. They will tell you the things that they need in reality. So working with real people is what's going to validate your side hustle.
Yeah, I love this. So this is something so big. This one tip is so huge that Veronica's sharing with you right now. If you don't take anything from this episode or like any of our content, it would be this. And it has to do with the difference between like hypothetical work or hypothetical service product development and like real life product development. You hear this term called proof of concept. So it is perfectly and encouraged and ethically okay to sell something before it's created. They do this all the time, in prototypes, right? They just make a prototype. They just have a graphic artist build up a prototype, even just a picture of what the product is going to look like. They present that to the public and see if people get excited about it, and if they can get 1 million emails about that thing, then the company will go forward with it. It's market research in a way to where you're not going to waste all your assets and all your time doing something because you're passionate about it, doing something because it lights you up inside. You can find that same passion, that same thing that lights you up inside. You can find that, but just package it differently. You could package it 100 different ways. And so if you package it in a way that is solving a problem for a specific marketplace, and it's unique to you and your skill set, like, man, you'll just be cooking with gas.
Yeah.
And so what I really love about this, and something that we had to learn the hard way that I'd really like you to learn, is let's just, for an example, use the case of an online course. Instead of recording all of the lessons, developing the whole curriculum of the course, packaging it, doing the graphics, editing the videos, everything else, and then trying to sell the course, instead, create a nice outline of the course, build the course in an outline way, and put the sales page together first for the course, sell the course, and then make the course together, like Veronica's saying, with your students. And then the same thing could be said with a client. So instead of like approaching the client with already this perfectly worked out system of what you do for video editing or podcast editing. Just get a client and see what they need and work with them and communicate with them face to face like a real person. And then you're going to learn what real life clients actually need. And it's just such a great point.
Yeah.
I just had to elaborate on it.
Yeah. No, I love it. And don't wait until your website is perfect. Don't wait until your social media looks in a certain way. Just reach out to people. Make a list of 10, 20, 100 people that you would like to work with once you have your side hustle established, and then start reaching out and start getting clients this way.
Yeah. And you can run promotions. I'll edit your podcast. I'll edit the first episode for free. I'll do social media management for the first month for free for you. We don't usually encourage those things to our students because we feel like you can always get money no matter your skill level. But a lot of times our confidence level makes us need to do this pro bono style work.
Yeah. But if you're watching this video or listening to our podcast, I want you to find your first client and I want you to charge money for it.
Yes.
Because the relationship will go a lot better. The expectations of you, like, this is the work that I'm going to do for you and this is how much you're paying me. It's a lot more clear, and you deserve to get paid. Even if you don't have the experience, even if you're not new at it, you're going to be investing time and effort and energy into working on that project. So charge money. Please.
Yes. And I like that a lot.
Then you want to create a business plan, and this doesn't have to be too complicated.
Just a one-pager.
Just a one page that says who is your ideal client or who's your target audience. Yep. What is your marketing strategy, or how are you going to bring clients, how are you going to enroll clients, attract clients out in the internet world. And also, what are your financial goals?
Yes.
I want to make this much money by, before Christmas. So I can buy, Christmas presents for my kids, or so I can take them on a vacation.
A good beginner side hustle goal would be, I want to work 10 extra hours every week at a side hustle, and I want to make an extra $25,000 a year. Cool. That's totally accessible. You can do that.
Yeah.
And just having that goal cleared, having it written down, it's not just like, I want to try this thing and see if it works. No, these are the people I'm helping. This is how much I want to make. This is how much I want to work. This is the type of work I want to do. Just make those decisions and go for it.
Yeah. Point number 2 is time management and work execution. And believe me, we still struggle with time management. Like, we understand the struggles of running a business from home or running a side hustle from home, and also raising kids and having all these other things that are pulling your attention.
You have to wash your body.
You have to do dishes and do laundry. But it's important that you track your time and how you're investing your time and how many hours it takes you to edit that podcast episode, or how many hours it takes you to edit a video, or to edit whatever it is, the skill that you acquired, that you learned to do, like how much time it takes you to complete a task, because that will allow you to calculate how many projects you can bring.
Yes.
You can sign up people for.
And it will it'll also start making your brain work in the right way of looking at ways you can make your work more efficient. And it's the very beginnings of systemizing your business. So it's a good way to think right at the beginning. Because later on, as your business grows, that's what you're going to be looking for, is ways that you can cut down how long it takes you to provide the same service and make things more efficient, automate things more. So the only way you're going to be able to do that, or that you're going to be able to eventually delegate tasks and to outsource tasks to people, is if you actually know how long the tasks take you and what's involved in the task that you're doing.
Definitely.
All it takes is a stopwatch on your phone.
Yeah. And if you're anything like me, I get anxiety every time I'm timing myself.
Yes.
But I should be doing that more often.
Yes. All of us should be.
And I would encourage you. It doesn't matter what the number is. What matters is that you know.
Yeah.
And like ignoring how much time it takes you to do something, that is just not.
It's actually okay.
You just have to face the reality that you're either very fast, or you're in the middle, or that you're slow, and they're all okay. They're all okay. Fine. I just want you to keep track of those and to know.
Yes. And to keep track of all the specific little tasks that you do, so that you can learn, I'm really fast at these 3 tasks, but I'm very slow at these 5 tasks. So I'm going to hire somebody to do these 5 tasks. And I'm going to keep doing these 3 because I'm fast at them. I'm good at them. And I'm like really talented in these 3 tasks. These other 5, not so much.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that you want to do is, and this is point number 3, and the last point is marketing and growth. You need to get familiar with marketing.
Yes.
And I know that marketing seems intimidating, that it seems like
just like
it's
the word
for
sales.
Yeah, it's just like, ew.
Feels
Like
weird.
Yeah, but marketing is simple as long as you know who you are, who your ideal customer is.
Yes.
If you know your ideal customer, then it's easy for you to talk to them. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. You just want to pinpoint the problem that you're solving. Then you want to position your service as a solution for that problem. Then you want to give a roadmap to your potential client. Oh, this is what you need to do in order for you to retain my services.
Yes.
And then you want to be able to communicate what are the positive consequences or the positive impact that you're going to have in their lives or on their businesses. If you are part of their team or if you are working for them, if you are providing your service. And then lastly is the negative consequences of them not signing up with you.
For your services,
for your
or
services,
your
or
product.
you're purchasing your product. And that right there, that's your marketing.
That is
You're
your marketing.
welcome.
And it's wonderful because if you're new to marketing and sales, it's very simple. Marketing is capturing the attention. Marketing is the lead capture, you could say. So it's like saying, hey, I'm here. It's inviting people into your world. And then sales is closing on that sale, is having a conversation with people who are in your funnel, your sales funnel. Maybe you've heard that term thrown around there. So it's not anything that's manipulative. It's not like trying to get inside people's heads. No, every human being has a problem, and we all tons of problems, and we all want our problems to be solved. And if you're kind of scrolling or out and about in your life and somebody presents themselves to you and says, I can solve this problem you're having. Hey, you know this problem you have that really sucks? I'm very qualified to solve it. Let me take it off your hands. That's not even like, that's a really natural, beautiful thing to happen.
It's just part of living in this world, part of being a human being.
It's part of being a human being.
And then what you're doing for that person is that you're free mental space. We hire a painter to repaint our patio deck. And it was just like 4 months. I had just that lingering in my head until I was able to sit down and like say, okay, I need to find a painter. And I found one, and I found a good one. And but he's providing his services, and that is just like not in my mind anymore. Yeah. So
that was worth a lot.
So don't be afraid to go out there and to say, hey, I can solve your problem.
Yes. And also don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth. And then, and then we'll have more advice on pricing and things like that in another episode. But that's it. This is definitely a possibility for you. Starting a side hustle is real. It's the world we live in. The sooner you get started, the better. It's supposed to feel awkward. It's supposed to feel weird. It's supposed to seem unrealistic. Very much like anything else that we do in life that pays off or that has big dividends. When you just get started and you make a commitment with yourself to stay consistent with this thing. So I'm not going to allow myself to stop this side hustle until I do get to that initial goal I wrote down on my 1-pager, which is I'm going to get a couple clients so that I can work 10 hours a week. And I'm going to get $20,000 out of those couple clients. And then if I do, then we can have the discussion of whether or not I want to keep going. But it's like anything else. And you know that. We all know that inherently. And so if you need some help, keep coming and checking on our content. That's why we're here. That's our purpose, that's our goal, is to help you succeed in the online space. That's absolutely what we do. So you can find us anywhere at Pod Sound School. And if you've enjoyed this podcast episode, please share it with somebody else who you know is interested in starting a side hustle. And also remember to take the Podcast Edit Lab for free. It's a mini course. You'll really love it. And that'll let you know if podcast editing might be the side hustle you want to get into.
Yeah.
Well,
bye, Jefe.
You know what would be cool is like if we do this sort of banter like they do on news stations and the camera zooms out and the music picks up. Well, until next time, good night, San Francisco. And then they're like...